In this video I'll be photographing wildflowers at East Crampton Pond, a small Northumberland Wildlife Trust reserve located close to my home. Well, look at all this photogenic goodness. I absolutely love this time of year for wildflower photography. As you can see, my local nature reserve is it's a riot of colour. And I think there's going to be plenty for me to photograph here. But I think I'm going to make life just a little bit more difficult for myself. So no doubt if you've seen in my recent videos, you know I'm a great fan of setting myself little challenges. I think it just gets those creative juices flowing a little bit. And I do think the restrictions can be really good for photography. So today what I'm going to do is I'm going to photograph these wildflowers in my local nature reserve, but I'm going to set myself a challenge of taking as many nice photos as possible in only a 1 hour time slot. So I'm not going to cheat, I'm not going to be pausing, I am literally going to be trying to get as many nice shots as possible in 1 hour. And in order to do that, I'm going to have to keep things nice and simple, so I'll be using my Sony A7C Mark II with a 28-200mm Tamron super zoom lens. And I'm no doubt I'll be using my close-up macro lens adapter at points to photograph these flowers. But yeah, I think it's time to get going, so I'm just going to set my timer up, like so, and get going. And I think I'm going to kick off the shoot with a simple shot of this oxide daisy here. I'm just going to remove the grass out of the way slightly. Being very careful not to actually damage it. I do just move it, I don't bend it, I just sort of move it slightly out of place. And I think I'm actually going to just shoot down on it. It's a simple shot. Now, I'm a great fan of square composition, so I think what I'm also going to do is I'm going to switch my camera to square mode. And now it should be pretty much good to go. It's really a case of trying to get the angle so I can shoot straight down on it. I'm not sure. Yeah, I think I'm actually going to have to fit the macro adapter, which is fine. It's all good. I've got a feeling I'm going to be leaving this bad boy on for most of the shoot, to be honest. I've actually done a video all about this screw-on adapter, so I'm not going to talk too much about it. All I would say is, for the money, it just opens up a world of flower photography. Having a real struggle. I think I'm actually going to come closer to the flower. This isn't a good start when you're under pressure for only 1 hour shooting. Okay, we're getting there. It's going to be easier for me to move the tripod as opposed to... I'm going to pretty much shoot wide open, which is giving me 500 per second f5. All I really need to do now is move these couple of pieces of grass, which I'm going to sort of position behind my tripod. And now it's a case of just waiting for the breeze to drop. Again, 500 per second f5, ISO 100. I may actually increase the ISO because I think that's not going to be too damaging. So now I'm getting 1,000 per second. Got a spray. Okay, I think that's a lovely start. I'll put the shot up on your screen for you now and I'll start composing the next one. I'm not sure if you can make it out, but there's a wild orchid hid in these sort of blankets of yellow flowers here. So what I'm basically going to try and do is I'm going to try and get nice and low and sort of shoot through the yellow flowers and hopefully have just the orchid shot and all the rest sort of like a blur of yellow. That's the plan. It may take a bit of a while to get the correct angle, but yeah, I think it could be a nice shot. It's going to take a bit of fighting with my tripod. And I may even resort to using the rear screen for this one. Put my glasses on so I can actually see what I'm doing. It's all about finding that right angle for this shot. Without it, it's just not going to work. And now managing to focus actually on the flower. I think unfortunately I've got a little bit of blur on that one, so I'm going to have to... And I'm not sure if it's actually blur from being able to focus or if it's simply because the breeze has kicked up a bit. I'm going to try and come lower still. I hope you can see me. It's very quite challenging trying to compose a shot and film at the same time. But hey, we like a challenge, don't we? Oh, that's far better though, that's far better. Going to carefully, again, pull the grass behind the lens. I'm not breaking anything, I'm just literally in fact, I think what I'm going to do is actually I'm going to move it over by hand. Yeah, absolutely gorgeous. I really like this shot. I wouldn't say it's 100% perfect, but I think considering I'm on a limited time, I think it's a nice shot, and I'll put it up on the screen for you now. So yeah, I'm pleased with that one. That's really quite nice. Quite lucky to have a spot like this so close to my home. And I think a lot of this, I think the beauty of working somewhere close to home is the fact that you have local knowledge. And I knew very well that there probably would be orchids at this time of the year. And I knew this was probably the prime time to come and photograph it. So even though I've set my challenge of only 1 hour, I'm hoping I can actually get quite a lot in that 1 hour. But 20 minutes have gone now, so it's time to find another composition. Right, quite a similar feel for this one, but what I'm actually going to do is I'm concentrating on the yellow flowers, and I want to have loads of other yellow flowers out of focus. So I've composed a shot. I'm actually focusing on a flower sort of midway into the frame, because what I want to actually happen is the flowers here at the front I want to be out of focus, and the flowers behind I want to be out of focus. So effectively we just have one sharp flower with this sort of bed of greens and yellows around, all merging into one because I'm shooting at f5. I'm getting 800 per second, f5. In fact, I can drop down to f4, so I'm going to do that. Actually, now the sun's going to come out, I'm going to try f8 and have a little bit less blur as such. Slightly recompose. Yeah, quite pleasant. I don't think it's as nice as the other two, but I'll put the shot up on the screen for you now. Now I'm going to actually try shooting down up. It's proving to be quite difficult, to be honest. I might be losing valuable time with this shot because I think it's not going to work. No, not at all. Right, damn. Right, so we'll abandon that one. I'll put that shot on the screen for you, but really, it's not going to be much fun, but yeah, have a look at it anyway. Right, so it has definitely come a little bit of a struggle and a race against time. I think I've got roughly 25 minutes left, which isn't very long at all. And I'm just walking a little bit further around the reserve. As I say, I know this reserve quite well, so I sort of know where there might be shots. Okay, I've just found something, which is brilliant. Forget-me-nots, I think. I love photographing forget-me-nots, so I'm going to plonk you down so you can see what's going on. Right, it's a bit wet, to say the least. I'm going to have very, very wet knees. Now, you know, in my previous videos, I've always said wear waterproof trousers, etc. Wear waterproof trousers, take a carrier bag, you know, that sort of thing, so you can actually not get soaking wet knees. Well, guess who hasn't listened to his own advice? But luckily, I think soaking wet knees may actually be a small price to pay for this shot, if I can get the tripod in place. It's a struggle. The problem I'm having, it's a little bit breezy, so I am really struggling. Okay, right, we're on to something. The problem with these, it's a bit like using extension tubes. The problem is when you're using sort of like a close-up lens adapter like this or extension tubes, is a lot of you focus and you achieve by moving your camera backwards or forwards. As opposed to if you're using a dedicated macro lens, you actually could get focus, and then if you want to get nearer, get a little bit nearer, and then... So, yeah, there's a downside to them. There's a definite downside. Of course, the upside's the cost. Because compared to a dedicated macro lens, this works out a lot cheaper. I'm going f5, 500 per second. A little bit of blur. Move that piece of grass. I want to move the flower as well. So again, I just move the flower over. Just noticed these forget-me-nots aren't perfect examples actually, but hey ho. I'm hoping if I move my body around here I can block a bit of that wind. Well, I'll have one. I'm not 100% happy with it. I think it'll be a nice little shot, but I think I could do better. But I really want to try and get another couple of shots in the bag before this timer runs out. And I think, if we have a look how long we've got left, well, not sure you can see that, 20 minutes left. So, yeah, let's go and find another shot. Right, I've found another subject, which is going to be this little flower here. I'm hoping, the wind's a nightmare, but I am hoping that basically, because the actual, it's attached to a tree, I think actually, so I'm hoping it'll be a little bit sturdier, less prone to wind than the forget-me-not was, because that was just being blown around like a little small flower in the wind, really. Funny that. Right, I'm going to get the camera as quite high, I think, for this one. I've got a bad feeling this may be the last shot of the shoot. Which will be a bit soul destroying. I haven't decided if I'm going to shoot it down. Oh, I may actually. Oh, that's quite pleasant. I'm fully aware I shouldn't sound so surprised when something actually looks nice, but oh, okay. Oh, you know what? Amazingly, I think I actually quite like that. I think the wind is still causing me a bit of bother. I think again, I just would like more depth of field. I'm even tempted to go to ISO 800 and increase to f10. Focus in the centre of the flower. And I'm also going to try focusing actually on the petals. It's a shame the wind's kicked up. Because well, I was thinking that I could possibly try a focus stack on it. But this is going to be a bit of a nightmare. I am actually going to give it another few minutes because I think this could really be a nice shot. Just need the wind. As you can see everything blowing around, so I just need this wind to drop down. Petals. Centre. And I'm even going to take one behind. No, I'm not, because it won't let me. Okay, so I've taken the standard shot in the centre, just at the centre of the flower, so that means the outside petals will go to focus. I've also tried taking one of the petals. I may try and see if I can combine the two and do a focus stack. I don't know if it'll work, but whichever shot I prefer at the end of it, I'll put on the screen for you now. Right, I was really quite pleased with that one, but I'm running out of time. I'm not even sure, not highly convinced I'm going to get another shot in. I am going to try, of course. The problem is when you're so short of time, really, I could rush and take a photo of everything, but I want to take some, as you've probably seen, I'm trying to take photos of different things. And I think I've just found it. So I'm not sure if you can see it, but there's a very small flower just sort of here, which is that small that I don't think it's even coming out on the little Osmo Pocket, but hey ho, I'm going to try and get it in the bag before this buzzer starts buzzing, because I think this buzzer's going to start buzzing very soon. And I also think this wind's going to be a nightmare, so this one may be wide open, almost looking down again, and actually working really nice. You know what, I'm going to leave it as ISO 800, but I'm going to go straight to f4.5, which is giving me 1600th of a second. I'd like a bit more time for the composition, which I may try if I get time, but I'm on 12 minutes left, so it's not as bad as I thought. So I may even go f7.1, it's looking a bit messy, 7.1, f5.6, focus in the centre, 1000 per second, ISO 800. I think it's got to be f4. To sort of try and throw everything out of focus. The problem is, at f4, too much is out of focus. And with macro, as you get closer and closer to it, your depth of field almost reduces. So whilst at f5.6 might be okay if you're photographing a tree, if you're trying to photograph something really small and you're really close to it, then your depth of field reduces at the same time. So you need higher than 5.6 to try and get in all in sharpness, all in focus as such. You know what, this is quite pleasant. So I think I'm down to about 5 minutes left. So apologies for the filming style. But I want to get the shot. And I think, no, I don't think I'm going to get one, to be honest, but I'm going to try, because I didn't think I was going to get the last one and I managed that, so hey ho. Right, so I found my last subject. I've got about 4 minutes left on the buzzer. I don't know how to do it though. There's thistles, so I'm hoping being a bit bigger, we can get around the problem of shake, because we're not going to have much time to try and recompose this. I'm just going to get my head on the shot. Not that I'm sure why you'd actually want to see my head, but you know. Okay. Again, a nice, relatively simple shot, apart from the focusing. Oh man, I'm not entirely happy with it. It's like it's not that it's a bad shot, it's just not very exciting. And I've got 1 minute and 20 seconds left. I think it's okay. It's okay. Could be done better. I'd perhaps like to sort of use off-camera flash and try and get it against a black backdrop, but yeah, I think it's not too bad. It's not too bad. Which is probably quite a good job because I've got 15 seconds left, so I'm just gonna. Well, I think realistically, it's a wrap. That's it guys, you've just seen the shots again, so I hope you've enjoyed them. I've got really wet in the process of doing this, so as I said in a few videos ago, wear waterproof trousers if you're trying to do this sort of thing, or take a plastic carrier bag with you. But anyway, what have we got from this video? Well, I think I've had fun. I've been out for an hour. I think if you work under the constraints of like just 1 hour to take shots, I think it's a great challenge, whatever you want to photograph. Because in that 1 hour, you have to think, you can't sit around mulling over what possibilities you can take. You just have to try and identify a shot and get that shot as quick as possible. Now, to be honest, something like the orchid photo, I could quite easily spend an whole 1 hour just taking that one shot, so I had to work really quick on it. And I think that's one I'm going to be the most disappointed about if it doesn't come out, because I feel like there's real potential there. So I think I've got some shots I'm happy with, but more than anything, it's just been nice coming out and taking you guys with me. So yeah, I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, please give it a thumbs up. Maybe subscribe to the channel if you haven't, and I'll see you next week for another one. Thanks for watching.